For the last 4 days, we've talked about Larry Nellis, one of the 831 people that allowed me to live my best life. Larry helped the Saskatchewan farm boy become one of the best of the best of the best ski racers in the world. Growing up on a farm in Saskatchewan, I was smart and going to be a hockey player. But then on June 21st, 1963, when I smashed my head on a cement floor and ended up in a coma for a long time, and then an even longer time of recovery, I was introduced to the sport of skiing and told my parents I was going to be an Olympic medalist in the 1972 Olympics at the 11th Olympic Winter Games in Sapporo, Japan. There I won a bronze medal in the combined for my performance in the downhill giant slalom and slalom. And this in just over 6.5 years of skiing. I'm Jungle Jim Hunter, and you're listening to 831 Living Your Best Life, where we inspire participation, communicate precision, and empower performers to podium. And we hope you'll tell your friends and relatives and people you know to go to their favorite podcast provider or junglejimhunter.com or YouTube and subscribe, download, click on like, rate, and review us, and become an 831er that lives their best life, inspiring others to live their best life. Larry Nellis and I were on the Kokanee Glacier, and after we had eaten breakfast whilst watching the sunrise and getting the hill and the lifts ready for the day of training at the summer camp, Larry took the time to teach me what it takes to make a perfectly arced turn. That is what you have to do if you want to win a World Cup ski race. He taught me Newton's laws of gravity and how they can work with you or against you, and for the first time I understood the technical aspects of what it takes to be a fast ski racer. The first law of gravity makes us all equal before we leave the start, so no one has any advantage at that point. The second law teaches you that a body at rest stays at rest until acted upon by an outside force, so, as he said, get it in gear. The third law states a body in motion continues in that direction until acted upon by an outside force. Therefore, you have to start turning sooner or later, or you're going to end up in trouble. Learn how to place your skis and align the force of gravity. Newton's fourth law says that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, so learn to harness that force on your edge, increasing your speed. This is the secret to going faster and faster. In that moment on the hill, Larry Nellis turned the thermostat so high that the flickering pilot light became a towering inferno, and an Olympian was born. My parents had taught me the laws of the heart, and unlike Newton's laws of gravity that always pull you down, the heart and emotions are always at war with each other, and they pull in both directions, up and down. We don't motivate well from outside forces, but get the best results from inward motivation. We keep going in the same direction far too easy, and it becomes a habit unless we change from within. Finally, the heart and emotions rarely respond in an equal and opposite force reaction. It always is a greater response and will be intended to hurt in the same direction. Time, which is the measurement of change, eventually proves who you are. To live your best life, we need to be trained from the inside out, not from the outside in. You are moving toward or away from where you say you are going. Moving toward requires congruency. In other words, you have to be who you say you are. Moving away is incongruent, which means that you're always at war within yourself and therefore fighting the battle within rather than with the competition that you're competing with. Our first response reveals which direction we are moving. Yes, that's true. Your first response every time reveals which direction we are moving. That's why you have to train it, so your first response is positive. To be congruent, we compare ourselves to ourselves, always improving compared to our last performance, not someone else's performance. Newton's fifth law proves the other four. It says, no two things can occupy the same place at the same time. And you can say, I do not want to believe or live by Newton's laws, but hit a tree and, well, it kind of proves the other four. You can say, I do not want to train my heart. I don't want to do that. I just want to do what I want to do. I want to be me. Well, I can be positive and negative at the same time. Yes, you can. All of us live this way every day. But if you say 1 second you can't make the next gate, and yet you are striving to do so, the dominant negative response will win, and you will be out of the course or lose too much time, and you won't win the race. And this happens in every situation because the two can't win both at the same time. However, you can train your heart to have a positive first response and become congruent with yourself, and soon failure becomes growth. And what you could not do, now you can do. It was thought that we could not fly until we proved you can overcome the pull of gravity. Each of us has abilities. An Olympic athlete is measuring themselves against the motto, Citius, Altius, Fortius, swifter, higher, stronger. Open-ended adjectives that do not limit the result, but rather invite all comers to set new levels, to set new records, to set new standards, only to be broken by the next person. What you can do, you can become the best in the world at it. You know what you did to do so, and in the process, you have something to teach others. I need you. The world needs you. We all need each other, because at some point, I am going to make a mistake, or you are, and I will need what you have learned, discovered, and brought as a solution. An Olympian is not better than someone else just because he wins a gold medal. Someone that wins recognition or receives an award is no better than anyone else. They may be recognized by a comparison process that includes gold, silver, and bronze medal, but as a person, we are all equal. My quote for the day: no two things can occupy the same place at the same time, but you can determine what occupies you the most. Larry Nellis matched the science of ski racing that day with the laws of the heart and growth for me. Larry didn't know it, but his kindness brought them both together. Larry didn't get to go to the Olympic Games. I wish he had, but I did. But he was one of the 831 people I needed all along the journey to get there. The morning, the experience, the time, and what was said brought it all together. That moment, it changed everything. In the next 10 days, I went from back of the pack to the top 5 on Kokanee Glacier that summer. I knew what I was working on and why. I knew what I needed to do and what to do about it. You know something others don't know, and you can be the answer. If you have kids, you need to teach them the laws of the heart and growth, much more than Newton's laws of gravity. Although they need to know both, they need to know that they can grow from within. Why? Because this time proves it's just like Newton's fifth law. None of us knew how much time we have. None of us knew that there was going to be a virus that would come. None of us knew that everything would be changed and that no two things could occupy the same place at the same time, a virus and health at the same time. It can't happen. But you do need to prepare to make sure that you do not disqualify yourself before you get in the starting gate of life. If you have others you are responsible for, you may be the difference in helping them make sure they don't disqualify themselves. Live your best life so you can help others live their best life. Thank you for listening, and I hope you will have grown and will be living your best life the next time we meet.